Hujambo, brothers and sisters, and happy Friday to you. Hey, check this out. I was just watching NBC World Nightly News, and one of the subjects of this evening was about an 8-year-old boy out of Cincinnati, Ohio, by the name of Gabriel Tay. Apparently, either today or yesterday, the boy's mother found him hanging in his bedroom. He had committed suicide. And I can only imagine the shock that went through her body when she opened that door to see her little boy hanging there. I can only imagine what was she going through. But anyway, apparently this boy had been the victim of bullying in his elementary school. Now, when I was watching on the news, I was watching, they had, apparently the school had cameras in the elementary school. They had cameras. And they had showed an incident where young Gabriel was walking into the bathroom and a bigger kid just stole on him and knocked him out. And he was laying there flat on his back, knocked out cold for a couple minutes. Now this had happened a couple of days prior to his suicide. But nobody said anything about it. Nobody said a thing about this. So my thing is here. Why do you have those cameras there if you're not going to monitor them? Why? Are they just there for show? Is it there are they there to make the school look pretty or something like that? Those cameras in these public schools should be monitored at all times. Monitored, because if somebody was doing their job, monitoring those cameras, they could have caught this and possibly prevented this boy's suicide. They could have caught this, called the little boy in the principal's office, called his mother, and called the perpetrators that committed this crime against this little boy, and they could have sat down and they could have figured this thing out. Now, apparently he had been bullied for quite some time, okay? And apparently his mother didn't know anything about it. She didn't know anything about it. He didn't tell her anything. So it's quite sad. And as I was watching the mother being interviewed on the news, I noticed that there was no father around. There was no father around. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe he don't have his father in his life, which is sad. That's unfortunately that's an epidemic in the black community that needs to be fixed, and fixed quick, because we're losing our kids at an alarming rate through violence. But anyway, if that little boy's father was in his life, because see, a lot of times, little boys, you can't go to your mother about certain things, or you could, but you choose not to. But this is something that possibly his father could have, intervened in. He could have went to his father about this, or his father could have got it out of him. Okay, I tell my son all the time. He's 8 years old, by the way, and I tell him I don't condone violence. I don't subscribe to violence. However, you cannot allow anybody to pick on you and bully you, because what's going to happen is that's going to set a precedent where the other kids seeing you being bullied by this kid, now this kid feel like they could come in and bully you, and then this kid can feel like they could come in and bully you. Next thing you know, you're going to be bullied all day, every day by all kinds of kids. So, and I tell my kids, you know what? People could talk about you all day long. Name calling ain't never physically hurt anybody. Okay? They can talk about you all day long, as long as they don't put their hand on you. As long as they don't put their hand on you, be good. But the minute they put their hand on you, and once again, I'm not condoning violence. I'm condoning self-defense. And I'm condoning sending a message. The moment another kid put their hand on you, I don't care how big they are, because the bigger they are, the harder they fall. When they put their hand on you, pick up something and knock the fuck out of them. And I bet you he won't pick on nobody else. And if you can't find something to pick up and knock him the fuck out, you fight him and fight. You might lose, you might win. But if you lose, I bet you the other kid gonna know, I might have whipped him, but man, look at me, I'm all messed up. He gonna know he been in a fight, because he's gonna have some bumps and bruises. These kids, like I said, I don't condone violence, but you have to defend yourself. You got to send a definite message out to those other kids. I'm not to be played with. I'm not to be bullied. You're not going to do it. And I'm not going to let you do it. So parents, you got to teach your kids, to stand up for themselves and defend themselves. Fathers, you got to be there for your shorties. You got to be. You got to be. Look, I bet you if that boy's father was in his life, this probably would have never happened. This probably would have never happened. So there's a lot of culpability to go around in this case. A lot of blame. I did a video about kids in public schools a while back. And this right here helps prove my point. Especially for my melanated viewers. You got to get your kids out of these public schools. Get them out. Because they're not doing their jobs. They're not doing their jobs. Somebody should have been monitoring those damn cameras. Point blank, end of story. There ain't nothing to discuss. Somebody should have been monitoring those cameras. Somebody was monitoring those cameras. Somebody was doing their job. That boy would still be here. What do you think? Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think, family. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. I'm out. Quite heavy.